the rod is in the rod holders and you see these, but you're on shore.
Mm-hmm.
This thing outweighs you.
On a cliffside.
The cliffside. Yeah. So I'm basically like,
so
I'm
how
crouched,
are you not getting pulled into the water?
I'm crouched down like at a pretty ready stance, and this thing is just torqued right over the cliff. That's why we are using like that 130-pound mono, because it can really rub on that rocks.
Sure.
Not go. So if we had the braid, it would have just been sliced, gone forever. But yeah, with that mono and the cliffs, like it's a ruckus trying to do that, trying to get that fish up. But yeah, landed this fish kind of like we were in awe. We're like, we did not expect to land this at all, especially today. Went from the lowest of low to the highest of high. It was unbelievable.
Welcome to the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast.
This is it, man. This is another episode of the Wilderness Wavelength Podcast. Welcome to it. I'm George. Scott Sunderwald, as always.
Yeah, great to be here, George. We've been trying to get this guy in the room for a long time. We've got Master Fisherman, Jayden Provencal, also known as Provy, and this guy's a fishing wizard. So we're gonna grill him. We're gonna put him on the rack, torture him a little bit, and squeeze some secrets out of him tonight.
When you were telling me about Jayden too, you mentioned like this is the best fisherman you know.
Oh, I don't think I know a better fisherman. Sorry, I'm gonna really make a lot of guys feel bad when they say that. I do know a lot of good fishermen, but Jayden, we look at your fishing photos and we're very jealous. I know you live and breathe fishing, so we're gonna do a deep dive. But you also do hunting. You've got some wildfire background as well. Most of the friends that know you call you Provy, so I'm going to call you Provy. That's a good name.
Yeah, it's good to be on the podcast. Thanks for having me.
It's great. It's fun. Great to have you here. So my boys have all done wildfire, and two of them still do, and that's how you've gotten to know my lads there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, working local here with them it's always great. Yeah, I've been good friends with Joel and Lance for a few years, so yeah, running into you a few times is awesome, and now we're here. So.
Now we're here, and everybody knows you as the Master Fisherman. I'm just curious.
You can say that.
It's a good title. When did you get started with fishing, and how did it start?
So, I've been fishing for a long time. Like, me and my dad been going out since I've been able to. He's always been dragging me out of the house. I think I've caught my first fish when I was like 3 years old or so. So pretty young, and always just been attracted to the water growing up. Like, we'd go camping and I'd just be fishing on the dock, whenever I could get out, however. But yeah, kind of started out that way. Fished every chance I could. Without a driver's license, you can only do so much. You go camping when you're younger and whatnot. But it really kind of started when I got into like high school. Just after high school, once I got my driver's license, and we were able to fish a few more places, go on some more adventures and whatnot. But yeah.
And you're an Alberta boy, right?
Yes,
Born
I
and
am.
raised. Yeah. Where was home for you?
Home for me is just north of Edmonton, Sturgeon County area. Yeah. So growing up out there. Yeah, just on the prairies. Had a few rivers out there. We had the mighty North Saskatchewan River that kind of runs along our county and just around the city of Edmonton, kind of where we're around. So yeah, growing up there fishing it definitely made me a better fisherman.
Is he naming too many rivers already, Scott?
If you don't know the North Saskatchewan, I don't know if you know fishing too well, but
Provy Outdoors is your Instagram, and you got TikTok too.
Yeah, I don't use that too much, but Instagram's where the
fish
best
you're holding are like, 3 feet. Like, do you have just an amazing camera angle? Like, how do they look so big? Are they that ginormous?
Lots of the time, they're just that big. I don't use any fisheye lens or anything like that usually when I post. So
Check out this Instagram.
You can always have some angles and stuff, but yeah, length doesn't lie when you put on a bump board either.
Yeah, Provy Outdoors. Usually, what I find when you're holding a fish, right, you can always do that, hold it out to the camera, but then you can always see the guy's fingers, and if they look like super fat fingers, they're doing the optical illusion, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, guys, if you hold your buck out there,
right,
you're like sitting on the hindquarters of the buck, your arms stretched out.
Behind the moose.
Well, in the pictures, like, it looks like these fish are so big, like it's heavy for you to hold even.
A lot of them are, like, especially those sturgeon, like they're some of the ones around in Alberta are only like a few inches shorter than me that I'm catching.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
It's pretty wild catching those.
And you said growing up next to Sturgeon River, yet I think we were discussing there's no sturgeon left in the Sturgeon River.
Yeah, the Sturgeon River is kind of an interesting story. I don't know like too much on it. Like there is probably some sturgeon around like the North Saskatchewan confluence area, but it's kind of where I grew up. Started fishing pike, a lot of those tributaries out there and whatnot. But yeah, there used to be sturgeon out there like way before, whenever the water levels were way higher, flow rates of that river was better. But with all the farming that's going on, they built dams on that river in the past and removed them, and you know that blocks migratory paths and stuff. So
that's a
place,
shame. They got to bring sturgeon back to the Sturgeon River.
Yeah. You gotta. Yeah. I think you're gonna need a flood. Forever.
It's pretty low water now, eh?
And you got an Alberta record?
Yeah, I did. So in the end of 2023, I did capture a provincial record tiger trout. So
Tiger trout.
So that was pretty cool. They're a hybrid between a brook trout and a brown trout.
Yeah.
So there's a few hatcheries that make them in Alberta and outside of Alberta and stock them into lakes.
Okay.
For trout opportunities across Alberta, since a lot of it's just boreal. And, there's some lakes that are just empty, and they just stock some trout in there, and they grow nicely.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, it's an interesting story. You were night fishing. Why don't you walk us through how did you catch this tiger trout?
I'll walk you through the story. So lots of the time I just go fishing by myself. So I think it was a couple days after Christmas. It was the 27th, I think, of December. I was just hanging out. I planned to go fishing that next day, since it was like all my holidays and suppers and kind of stuff was over, and I had a few days off. So headed out there that night. I think I left home at like 10 o'clock, probably got to the lake after midnight or so.
Wow.
So it was a late night. Got all set up, had my tent. So I just, set my cod up, kind of laid down for a while. I just had my two jaw jackers just sitting right beside me, and nothing for a few hours. And I think it was 5:30-ish. Yeah, jaw jacker popped, and after a crazy fight, pulling that thing through the ice hole is... Like I knew right when I flopped it on the ice, I was like, "Oh, this is the one for sure."
Yeah.
Wow.
So you were sleeping in the ice fishing tent?
Yeah, I was like, I had my cot and then my two holes just right on the end of the cot.
Do you have the buddy heater with the carbon monoxide thing going there?
Yeah, buddy heater. Yeah. There's a carbon monoxide like little detector or a low oxygen detector on them, but it's always good to have your own detector, especially if you
bring your own as well, and you just have like a warm down sleeping bag, so you're good for the night.
Lots of times I don't even sleep with my heater on. I run if I'm like, it's easy to get my good sleeping bag out there. It's like a minus 44, so I don't really have to worry too much. But
the toaster 10,000.
Exactly. I feel like a little burrito in there, so it's pretty nice.
So you got the jaw jackers. It's dark in the tent. Well, you might have a light in there, and then suddenly a bell goes off.
Yeah, you got the bells going, so it's like
you wake up.
Your alarm clock.
Yeah, you wake up in panic.
Yeah.
You're not. No fish is like going off, and you're not sleeping through that. It's impossible.
You tie the fishing line to your big toe, so you feel it tugging.
You're not really sleeping. You're pretty well half awake, kind of stressed out. But yeah.
And you said that was the only hit you got all night.
Yeah, So I fished probably from midnight-ish till right into the morning, and I caught that big one at 5:30. I was kind of in shock for a while. I just kind of sat there and just cherished the moment.
Yeah.
How big was it?
It was 25.5 inches. So there is bigger tiger trout caught out there.
Yeah.
But in Alberta, that's definitely up there for records.
Wow.
And
that's good size. Now, because you're ice fishing, I assume you're using some bait? How much can you tell us about your rig that you set up there?
Yeah, you can, usually at night, if you could jig some lures, glow-in-the-dark stuff, but, having the jaw jackers, dead stick, you're usually putting some worms, minnows, whatever on there. Whatever they're eating, it's kind of good to key onto that. Sometimes they use water beetle imitations, but that's more in the daytime, and stuff like that. But usually bait fishing at night, whatever kind of shiners, worms, kind of stuff.
So
like
they
that.
don't need to see it in the dark. They're just going by feel or smell and bumping into it.
They're pretty good. They can smell from pretty far away, but I don't know. I think their night vision's pretty good as well, because I do night fish for them with lures.
Yeah.
But it's not just their eyesight going after it too. So.
Probably they're sensing the
their lateral line is very effective.
So you said the dead stick, because I do a lot of jaw jacker fishing, and it surprises me how many trout I'll catch on dead stick too. for listeners, if you don't know what dead stick, it's basically the line isn't jigging; it's dead in the water. And it's funny because some fish cue in on movement, and others seem to be fine with the dead stick. But the jaw jackers now have this robotic system. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
It's like $120, and you can put it on different rotations.
Yeah.
And
those they're very effective. Yeah.
oh, do you have one of those?
Oh yeah, that's what I was using. So I have the jigging one, but for that fish, it was dead stick.
It was dead
But
stick.
A lot of trout do prefer dead stick baits, and the jaw jacker's just perfect because they just nibble on the end of it and just kind of sets
Just
off
whack.
for yourself and hooks
Yeah.
the fish and makes it too easy.
Do you find you get, like with the jaw jacker, when that sucker goes off, are you like 70% that thing is hooked in the mouth? Because sometimes it goes off and the fish is gone.
Well, they're pretty good at just like missing the hook and just like grabbing onto the tail or of
Right.
whatever that lure bait is and just kind of pulling it away. Sometimes it's kind of tough. You have to, if I find like they're setting it off for no reason, I'll tighten it a little bit so they have to pull a little harder. But
Do you ever use those wind tip ups? Because I use them.
I don't use them for
Quite a
trout too
bit.
much, but yeah, I've used them here and there for pike and walleye. They're pretty fun to use.
The
do
problem
like
I
'em.
find is once the flag goes up, you got to sprint over there. You've got your cigar hanging out your mouth. You're running across
Oh,
the
you gotta
ice,
be ready with
sliding
those.
sliding into home plate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big
to set the line.
I'm
right?
a big fan of the flags. Whenever I'm going for bigger fish on the ice, they're always fun chasing around.
You're not telling us any lakes tonight?
Well, I could always tell you some lakes in private, but it's always nice to, for the fish's sake, just protect
Right.
them sometimes. Like a lot of the time, the fish I'm targeting are like trophy fish, biggest I can find of that species, usually the most elite genetics you can find out there.
Yeah.
I don't really like. There's a lot of places you can tell, and more numbers places, but those places with those unique fish with those genetics,
Yeah.
it's nice to protect them.
Can you give us a few hints on how you find spots?
Oh, for sure. Like, I do research on quite a bit of like water bodies. Like, if I have an idea of like the area I want to go fish, I'll kind of look at river systems. I'll do research online.
Yeah.
What are people catching?
Okay.
Times a year, kind of stuff like that. But
Fishing forums and stuff like that?
yeah, it definitely helps. There's so many things now on social media that you can look for, but
Yeah.
the real good ones aren't on social media. That's the fun part about it. So, finding a lot of spots or just come to experience, and big water, big fish I usually find.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause usually the forage is heavier in those bigger water bodies, so it's nicer and easier to kind of figure them out. But some places are small water and have good forage base, and there's some big fish in there, and those can be little good secrets too.
Yeah.
So when you read a river, coming back to where to fish on water, are you looking for those deep pools, quiet pools, back eddies? Are you looking for the inflow from another creek? You know, these are some things I look for, but I'm not catching the same quality fish, so obviously you're onto something.
Yeah, there's so many variables, so many different times a year. Just things change on the day, especially on river systems. Like, one day it's super clear, 10 feet of clarity, and the next day it's blown out, muddy. The fish are hiding in a completely different area. But yeah, usually I find 95% of the fish are in 5% of the river, 5% of the area. So,
And that is what?
like,
He's dodging the question, George. Get him on the rack.
What part of the river?
So
Is it the deep pools? Is it the...
it matters. Different times of year, different species. They always hold in different areas. Like trout, I find if you're looking at a medium-sized river, small, like usually the heads of a riffle, the tail out of a riffle, current seams. Like if you ever see like kind of two different flows of water kind of running by each other with depth.
Yeah.
Even if like there's a foam line sometimes on a seam, usually
Okay.
we say foam is home. That's a
like
good
it.
tactic,
Wow.
especially for trout.
There's
Foam
a
is home.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
There's a new koozie for you, George.
Got it, man. I'm writing that down.
There you
Foam is
go.
home.
Yeah, because lots of times, especially with trout, like bugs and whatever kind of fish, kind of get
Yeah.
caught in the seam with that foam, and it's a good ambush point, and it's nice for those fish to sit on the edge of that seam. It's just
So you're looking for deeper water
usually I like
in the river.
shallow water dropping off into deeper water,
Yeah.
or shallow water or deeper water coming up to shallow
The
water.
ledge.
You know, the ledge is always
Yeah.
where you're going to find fish. Usually the ledge or the seam,
Yeah.
back eddies, kind of stuff like that.
What about falling over trees and any structure, rocks? And
In the summer, it's like cover is key. I find, like especially
Yeah.
with like pike and some trout, like they'll be in undercut ledges, big fallen trees. It can be very key because that's just where the water temperature and stuff is just most ideal for them.
Right, and so a big rock in the river, probably just behind the rock. You think some lunkers are lying behind there?
Rocks are very key because especially they break the current in a lot of ways, so it kind of makes for a sitting point for a lot of fish and an ambush point. So they like to sit. Some people like to think they just sit behind a rock, but lots of the times they like to sit like right in front of a rock.
Is that right?
There is like, I don't know the science behind it, but sitting like right in front of the rock, right like kind of on the bottom, they do like dodge the current a little bit there and use it as an ambush point, especially for predatory trout, I find.
Yeah.
But behind rocks, of course, as well.
Yeah. And you grew up mostly filling the freezer with the family, subsistence more, and
Yeah,
then became more catch and release guy? Or?
Yeah, like me and my dad growing up, walleye, pike lakes, ice fishing, you're bonking walleyes. Those things taste great. Of course, filling the freezer. Yeah, it's always lots of fun doing that. But once I kind of got into high school, fishing the North Saskatchewan River and stuff like that.
North Saskatchewan River.
Oh yeah, it's a great one. That's kind of lots of those places where you are looking for those trophy fish and those big ones. Lots of times the limits on those lakes are zero.
Yeah, so, that's the problem.
For a good reason sometimes, but lots of the time, like if I wanted to go after fish to harvest, I'd probably target different areas, but lots of my fishing is trophy fishing. So it's,
Yeah, wait until you have 6 kids like I did, and then it'll all change, and you're trying to put food on the table, right?
Oh, it's good. That's what hunting season's for. I try to, but fish is always great too.
Yeah.
Man. How many days a year do you think you go fishing?
Well, in the summer, I'm pretty caught up with wildfire and stuff like that, so I don't get out as much as I'd like in the summer. In the shoulder seasons, I think I get out a lot more, but I'd say if you even count like evenings or mornings before I start work, I always get out. I try to I live here in Hinton or wherever I go and work wildfire. I always try to sneak out before or after work. But days a year, sometimes it varies. Usually my trips that I do are like 5 days a week. Sometimes I like to make them long. So I'm probably spending around 100 days on the water a year, if not more. But usually those 100 days are like full, not a 8-hour day on the water. It's like 24 hours day and night.
1 day out of 3. There you go. That's the good life.
That's
man.
good.
You're like living like a retired guy.
Yeah.
Already.
If I'm lucky, I'll get out that many times. But and right after and before fire season, I go pretty crazy.
I got a would you rather. So you're out on a 5-day camping trip, solo camping trip. Would you rather spend it in a nonstop rainstorm where you catch 5 trophy fish, or nice sunny weather, but you're only catching average size fish?
I'm doing rainy day every day.
Yeah, you're going trophy?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes for me anyway. I don't have a choice. So sometimes I'm getting the crappy weather, not even the good fish. But
what are you doing, Scott? You
I don't mind suffering.
The trophy fish?
I'm suffering for that trophy fish. It'll all be worth it in the memories, and you won't remember how cold and bitter it was. How about you, George?
Nice sunny weather, average size fish sounds good to me. I could do that.
It matters the day for sure. If I'm after the trophy fish, I'm doing that. But there's some times where you're like, I just want a chill day.
Yeah.
Take some people out that don't really get out too much. You don't want to bring them out on a crappy day where they're not having too much fun.
Oh, exactly. So. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get back to fishing tactics and tips because, like I said, we got to squeeze as much out of you while we got you here.
Oh, yes.
What you approach a body of water, let's say you've never been there, you do this all the time, you go across the states, across Canada doing this. What are you researching ahead of time? You know what fish are there. What's going through your head? Like, are you figuring out what are these guys eating? What's in your toolbox there?
It matters the size of the trip and all that. Like, I'd say like all of my trips do have some pre-planning.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually just kind of wing it and just go. Like, sometimes I do if I'm just doing like a day trip or something. But my bigger trips, I'd be planning for a few months, few weeks in advance. Like, not just straight planning it, but just thinking about it, just kind of reading stuff about the water body, the fish, how to target that species, that time of year kind of stuff, But you can only find so much online and by the books. You kind of being out there. I find just talking to locals, like going through the States and stuff like that, like on my big trips, I found some of my best fishing spots just talking to some crazy guy at the gas station. It was like, the town pump down there has some gems.
Yeah, you got to find somebody who's got loose lips though, who's willing to chat, right?
I mean, I know as a fisherman down there than up here. It's crazy.
I don't know if you're the same way. You're sitting in I had the same thing. I was on Maxwell Lake pulling fish out of the water one after the other. This was a few weeks ago, and this guy's he's close to shore and he's looking at me, and then he keeps looking at me, and then finally you can just see him. He throws his rod down because he's catching nothing, and he walks over, and I'm like, "Don't come asking what I'm using, dude. That's bad form, right?" How are you? Are you guarded that way? No, I kind of. Just in general terms, like make sure you got a hook in the water
on there and a line.
Yeah, matter of situation. You don't want to give away the secrets there, but try to make it a positive encounter with some people, and just a part of the fun is figuring it out yourself instead of just getting told everything. I don't find it's as enjoyable that way either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so back to you do your research, you talk to the crazy guy at the gas station, you go to the lake, and now what? What's your approach?
Like, you have an idea, like where the fish would kind of sit based on your research, like matters what you're going for. Mm-hmm. Like, say for our sturgeon trip, we were just kind of finding deeper holes, current seams. Salmon season was kind of around there, so where are the dying salmon coming out and stuff like that. Just kind of thinking where fish would be. It's usually just time on the water is like a big thing. Just you don't really know what's going to happen till you drop your line, and could be good, could be bad, could be different every day. Like,
are you an early morning guy? Like crack of dawn, you're out there, first guy on the water?
I definitely try to be. Sometimes I fish so late into the night that I struggle to wake up, but find that a lot of ice fishing. But yeah, I like to be out first light. Usually in the summer, that's some of the best times because it was cool all night, especially for like colder water species. That's just the time to put on the feed. They're most comfortable. Yeah,
dawn and dusk. So you're having your afternoon siesta, having a beer, sleeping under a tree.
Oh yeah, you never know. You get the midday monsters will surprise you sometimes. But
midday monster, that's another one.
Midday monsters, right? Yeah. How was so you said you were down there for a sturgeon fishing trip?
Yeah, I could tell that story. It's a pretty wild one. So yeah, me and two other buddies, we like I did a trip before, similar area, so the year before, and we did okay. We could have done better that year, so we kind of figured out the area, kind of dialed in our tactics, knew what we had to do for next time. So that's one of the things, like sometimes you fish an area and you're like, okay, next time I'm going to do this, this, and this from your experience. But so we go down, we fished all through Alberta, through Montana, mostly for trout and kokanee salmon down there. Went through Idaho, Washington, Oregon, even went up through BC on the way back. But the main target was the sturgeon down in the States. It's a cool system down there. It's something a little bit different than the Fraser. You have the Snake and the Columbia, which are just sturgeon powerhouses. I
don't want to break the flow of your story. I'm just curious because you're going from state to state to state. Mm-hmm. You have to buy a new license every state, new rules.
Like Idaho, I didn't really fish we didn't fish too much, but yeah, it was a different license for each place. So
wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it's pricey. I'm already at 4. I'm going to be at 3 licenses here soon. So already this season.
All right.
So
okay, cool. So carry on. You're hunting sturgeon. We're
it's a multi-species trip. Yeah. We're targeting trout along the way, whatever big fish you can get a hold of. It's pretty cool fishing some pretty good spots along the way. But yeah, we get down to the Columbia River. The year prior, we didn't bring my boat out there. We didn't have a boat at that time, so we're like, we definitely have to bring a boat next time because people in front of us way out were sleighing on the boat and whatnot. We got a guided trip out there too, which is really wicked. So they hooked us up with some fish that year, but we're like, we do want to catch one offshore or in our own boat kind of thing, do our own mission. But yeah, so we go down there, we get all the way, it was probably 18, 19 hours from home or more. Set up the boat. There's tons of salmon boats out there. It's salmon season, so they're all fishing. And yeah, we kind of slide in behind them. I towards the end of the day, and yeah, we catch one little sturgeon, like white sturgeon. It was really cool. It's probably like a 3-footer, pretty small for those, but big on average compared to most fish. So we were really excited. It was kind of, you can't fish into the night there at all, so we kind of packed up, brought the boat to shore.
Oh, really? They have a time limit?
Yeah, a lot of those, like a lot of the
that's
sturgeon
interesting.
fisheries,
Yeah.
except for like the Snake River in Idaho, you can night fish there. But for a lot of sturgeon on the Fraser and stuff, the Columbia,
Yeah.
just during the day, just to prevent poaching and stuff, because
Right.
there's some nasty stuff that goes on out
I
there.
bet. Yeah.
But yeah, so we get to the Columbia, we catch that first sturgeon that night, and we're on the most perfect area. It's kind of sketchy going through. There's population all over the place. You can't really get away from people out there. So we're on a pretty like isolated beach, tented up with we rented a U-Haul trailer for I think 18 days. Our whole trek down there, we just had the boat in there. It was a Zodiac, so you could blow it up and just put it in wherever. So that was kind of handy. But yeah, we set up that night, go to sleep. We're like, we were so excited to go out this next morning. We walk out to the beach to go load the boat. My anchor's sitting there. Someone cut my anchor line through the rope into the boat and just pushed my boat away and floated down the river with it.
Terrible.
Gone.
And this was a new Zodiac.
Yeah.
New
it was
to you.
New to me. Like I bought it from like a dad's friend for a pretty good deal, so I was pretty
Yeah.
excited. It was like it's a 10-foot Zodiac, so it was pretty small for the Columbia, but we were making do.
Yeah.
But
man.
yeah, gone right in the morning, so we're just devastated. We're all the way out there for the sturgeon. Brought our boat just for that reason, and we're like, this is not great. So call the cops, deal with that, report it. Never heard anything back.
Yeah.
A lot of sketchy stuff going on out there, so I didn't expect to get it back. This was in Washington, by the way, so yeah.
He's not even giving us a state, George.
Yeah, Washington State, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of variety of people there. But yeah, so our boat was stolen. We're like, what do we do now? So just decided to keep on fishing. So we're like, we're kind of stuck to shore now, so what are we going to do? So went up this one creek, and we were just kind of shooting around, looking for trout, maybe salmon. And yeah, we found like a whole bunch of Chinook salmon spawning in this creek. They're kind of on the end of their spawn, mostly just dying. They were kind of half rotting, half alive, floating down the creek towards the Columbia. We're like, this is interesting. And yeah, we caught a steelhead in that creek, which is like one of the
Nice.
not many steelhead are more, it's hard to, like, not many steelhead winter, much like more east than where we were. So it was a pretty cool area to catch a steelhead. I did not expect it at all.
And for our listeners, steelhead's an ocean-going rainbow trout.
Yes,
Correct?
genetically the same as
Genetically.
a rainbow trout, but goes from the ocean to rivers.
And they're mass. They can get massive.
No salt, no steel. Yeah.
Another slogan. there,
No
George.
salt, no steel.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Foam is home, midday
that's a
monster.
controversial one out there out east for sure. But yeah, so boat stolen. We're in this creek, caught a steelhead. The day is getting a little bit better, The few grand boat was stolen is too bad, but
Who cares? You're loaded. You're making that good wildfire money. Yeah.
after we got our raise, yeah. But yeah. So we set up where we saw those salmon floating down the creek dying. So we're like, I wonder if things are eating these salmon. So we get out to the mouth of this creek. It drops off pretty quick. Like one side's like a sandbar, one side's a creek. So we're just like, let's go off the cliffside quick. Probably, there's a lot of bait you can buy down there. We're using shad, lamprey, like there's a whole bunch of cut bait. What's the other one? You had squid out there, and they use like king salmon. Like they find the more silver the better out there. It disgusts some people because it's like perfect eating fish, and they're using it for bait. But yeah, threw a nice chunk of salmon down there, imitating the floating salmon coming out of the creek perfectly. And 2 minutes, I hooked up into this fish. It was just had me torqued. It didn't jump at all. Usually sturgeon jump when you like first hook them in the first couple minutes, and it didn't breach at all. Just kind of held its weight. And trying to fight this thing up this cliff wall. And when you're fighting a fish vertically, it's much harder than like horizontally, because you kind of fighting their weight of gravity. And a sturgeon's pretty big, hundreds and hundreds of pounds they can get to. So
Shark size.
yeah, literally. So the sturgeon's fighting this wall. He's grabbing under the cliff with its tail, trying to prevent itself from coming up. But after a long fight on the cliffs, pretty sketchy area we were fishing too. We pulled around to the sandbar and somehow landed this thing. I fought it all by myself.
And how long was the fight?
The fight was probably 30, 20 minutes. Like it was.
Wow.
It was a good fight.
And what pound line are you using there?
So on the Columbia, it's pretty rocky in a lot of areas. So we're using, on the bottom of our reel, we had like 100-pound braid. We'd run as much as that as we could, probably like a full 300 or a little bit less. And then we'd stack mono on top of it. So like we were using 130-pound monofilament. So
wow.
Did a crazy connection knot between the two lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
Is this a spin casting reel or
no,
bait caster?
It's like a kind of like a bait caster build.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a trolling reel build. But yeah, so can't really cast too far with that, but didn't need to there. They were feeding like right up in the creek.
So wait, I'm trying. I can picture people fighting a fish like that from a boat because you got, the rod is in the rod holders and you see these, but you're on shore. This thing outweighs you.
On a cliffside.
The cliffside. So I'm basically like, I'm
how
crouched,
are you not getting pulled into the water?
I'm crouched down like at a pretty ready stance, and this thing is just torqued right over the cliff. That's why we are using like that 130-pound mono, because it can really rub on that rocks. And not go. So if we had the braid, it would have just been sliced, gone forever. But yeah, with that mono and the cliffs, like it's a ruckus trying to do that, trying to get that fish up. But yeah, landed this fish kind of like we were in awe. We're like, we did not expect to land this at all, especially today. Went from the lowest of low to the highest of high. It was unbelievable. And yeah, we put it on the tape. We had like big soft tapes and stuff like that I brought out. And yeah, it was a 10-foot long tape and it went right to the end.
Wow.
Just like a little touch past the end. And yeah, big 10-footer.
You did a girth measurement too, eh?
Yeah, and the girth was just a little bit under 50 inches, I believe. It was
crazy.
It was
that's a
into the hundreds of pounds for sure. But
and they have a soft mouth, hey? Like no real teeth in there?
The mouth is kind of not like on like most predatory fish where it's kind of facing directly in front of them. It's more of a downward facing mouth.
Yeah.
So they are kind of scavenging whatever they can find. Lots of those, let's say, dead salmon, whatever.
Vacuuming up the bottom of the river.
Whatever they can find in the river. But apparently there, like a lot of the guides and locals there's like a shad run that happens in the spring, coming up actually. And yeah, they catch a bunch of shad. They're actually invasive. They're not supposed to be, and the run just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger each year, which sturgeon are actually doing great off that, because 4 million shad go up and spawn. And they go right back into the ocean. Yeah. And then all these little fish that come down the shad run, it's just feeding frenzy for all the fish in that river. So they do get big.
Well, I used to fish sturgeon on the Fraser River on the BC coast. I was never very lucky, but there were guys who would say they would use roadkill cats on a big hook, or they'd stick a chicken in the sun, like a chicken from the store, just till it was rotting and stinky, and put that on a hook.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. You hear all those tactics, but I see it more of like a catfishing thing. Like I find the most natural bait is usually key. Sometimes like a rotting salmon or something might work, but
better than a roadkill cat.
Exactly, not my most ideal thing. Even with the sturgeon, with the vacuum mouths, they say whenever the shad are running, they'll be like catching shad for bait or whatever they use it for, and the sturgeon will actually come up beside the boat and eat their shad off their line, like a predatory fish, which is like unheard of in many places. So I think they're capable of more than people think, for sure.
Is that what you think the Ogopogo monster is? Just a giant sturgeon's been seen over the years?
I think it could be a sturgeon or just some really fat carp or something like that. But I don't know. You never know. The Ogopogo could be real. There's lots of underwater caves going there.
They're deep. I remember looking that up when I was in Penticton. So there could be some monster sturgeon down there.
Yeah, you never know. Apparently they could have been in there however long ago before the dams and stuff. So. Yeah, it's a
10-foot sturgeon. Man, that's insane.
Yeah, off the bank is pretty wild. I haven't really heard too much of those caught off the bank. Usually.
How did it taste?
You can actually keep some sturgeon there in the Columbia River. There's very few places in North America you can do it, but Can't do it in Canada, but the Columbia River has a very short season in the winter, which is like, they're pretty juvenile fish. Like, I think there's like a slot size somewhere in the 50 inches you can keep. But yeah, the big oversized sturgeon, they all get released with respect.
Yeah.
They're old fish. Like my one fish my buddy caught, it was just a hair under 10 feet, and the thing looked so old. It had to be double, triple my age, I swear.
Wow.
Like, it probably was close to like a 100-year-old fish. Like, the sturgeon are really cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. Did you catch them in BC then?
Oh, I had no luck with the sturgeon. We catch different salmon and would they be flounders there? Some sort of flatfish that were coming in the Fraser.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never really mastered the sturgeon.
Yeah, whenever I went on the Fraser, I got skunked, so I was like, I'm just going to go try down here.
Oh, man, if you got skunked, I'm feeling better about myself
I
already.
love shore fishing, but...
Yeah, come talk to me. I'll teach you how to catch fish in the Fraser.
Exactly, he knows what's going on.
You got a favorite fish to fish?
I'd say I do have a favorite fish. I do like them all. The variety really keeps me into it, just doing different things all the time, different times of year. But for my favorite type of fish, for the way fishing for 'em and stuff like that, it's probably the bull trout.
Bull trout.
You know, you're in the mountains.
Yeah.
You're in these, lots of times, these nice clear rivers, sweet backdrop. You're just deep in backcountry nature, and big predatory trout as well. It's just
they're aggressive.
It's just a combination of just super fun fishing. You know, you do some of your trips for them, and you're just out in the mountains for a week straight, just having campfires, going fishing for those all day.
This is a good time of year to get them, eh?
Yeah, I'd say bull trout, char species, because they are they call them bull trout. They're actually on the char side of the family.
Right.
So the char side of the family, they spawn in the fall. So in September area, like, there is some good fishing to do post-spawn and pre-spawn, but I find right now they're not worried about spawning. They're not worried about like getting anywhere. They're just trying to get fat. So right now I find there's some really eager fish out there to catch, but
I've
doesn't
seen
help.
some pictures on Pro V Outdoors. They're on your Instagram of 30-inch bull trout.
Yeah, I caught a few 30s. They're wild,
And
man.
I know we're not going to get the exact lures from you, but can you narrow it? Like, are you using spoons for something like that, or jigs, or flies,
Honestly,
or all of the
for
above?
bulls, I'm using pretty big stuff, especially like in seasons where they're in kind of bigger rivers and stuff like that. They do key into insects and stuff into the summertime, surprisingly, even those big fish. But yeah, like, honestly, they love whitefish. They love eating rainbow trout.
Yeah.
There's kokanee in the river system. They love that. So imitating that in some ways is super key. So big spoons, big plastics. Like, it really doesn't matter. We have a buddy down in Calgary. He's with CST Lures, and he makes like a whole bunch of he's from Serbia originally, and he makes a bunch of these like handmade wooden lures. He balances them himself, and they're like big. They're like sinking crankbaits, and he makes a bunch of different lures that are just like really unique, and I like using those for bulls too. So it's really effective.
Another would you rather? Would you rather only be able to fly fish or spin cast for the rest of your life? What are you doing?
I do enjoy my fly fishing quite a bit, but lots of the time it is not the most effective way. So lots of times I'd be questioning what I'm doing with a fly rod. I can cast usually 10 times farther with my normal rod sometimes. So I'd definitely go for the spin, but whenever I'm fishing out, wherever I am, I love to have a fly rod in my hand, spin rod in my hand, going back and forth. Sometimes one works better than the other. I'm not too picky. I do love the feeling of fly fishing and hooking up on a fish on the fly. It's definitely unique, and I think everyone should give it a try. But
I like to hear you say that, because I know I've got some fly fishing friends, and if you're listening, this is going to be a bit of a dig at you. But, I've been spin casting, and I'll be catching fish on my spin casting gear, and they're like, oh, what are you using? And I tell them the lure, and they're like, I'll see if I got something in my fly box that can mimic what you're using on the spin rod. I'm like, you don't need to be a snob about the fly fishing, but so often these guys are, right?
Oh yeah, they love to push it, they force it, which is fine. They enjoy it.
It has to be fly fishing, or they kind of look down their nose at the spin casters. How about you, George? You spin casting or fly fishing?
I have never really done any fly fishing. So yeah, I'm gonna go spin, but I do want to get into some flying. Like I like that little flick, you know.
Yeah, if I would recommend like dry fly fishing, like grayling and rainbows, stuff like that, that's the most most fun fishing. You're just watching them come up and eat your fly off the top of the water. That's how I really got into it when I was younger, and just the visual fishing was very exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched a river runs through it.
I've actually never watched that movie. I've always seen the clips and stuff.
Brad Pitt, big fly fishing show. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been by the river they filmed that on and stuff like that. But
yeah. I mean, this is going to sound really sacrilegious. I'm just out there to catch fish. I don't care how it works, but I'll use a lot of flies on spin casting gear.
Well, that works great too.
I catch a lot that way. So people are like, "Are you a fly fisherman?" I'm like, I'm not necessarily using the technique you're using, but I'm using a lot of flies, and I tie my own for that reason.
Yeah.
But
it's whatever you're fishing. Everyone's fishing. It's people argue
having
about
a
it all
good
the time, but
catching fish.
yeah, it's whatever you enjoy. Really, that's what I like to get at.
You mentioned CST lures. Do you have like a favorite fishing gear brand you're going to for like even just rods? Something you're always coming back to?
Like for lures wise, I'd always like CST because they're kind of made for like bigger rivers, cutting current. They're local. I like to support kind of local stuff around. Like I do use a lot of higher company rods. Like I love my Shimanos and Daiwas and stuff like that. I go pretty hard on, but if you can buy local, I always recommend that.
Yeah.
Like I had my one buddy, he's making some prototypes for a fly rod right now, so I'm excited for those to come out. And
Sweet.
I'm using one of his prototypes right now, so yeah. His name is Nature Fellas. Yeah, he's a pretty sweet dude as well. He does like a bunch of guiding and stuff in northern BC for lake trout and bull trout out of Williston Lake. So it's a wicked place up there.
Cool. Talk to us about time of day, moon phases, seasons, morning versus evening. Some of that sounds like witchcraft, and yet some guys really are into that. Like, is the moon phase thing real?
I could like. A lot of people swear by it, especially matters of species. Like I know Murray cod fishermen, like in Australia and wherever else, they swear by it. They won't even fish until it's like a moon major or minor. So I find a lot of the time, like whatever, if you can get out and fish, you should be fishing either way. But it is good to have an idea of like what's happening, like what the pressures are doing, what's the moon phase, dusk, dawn, just kind of tracking your data and like.
So are you actually looking at then a calendar with the moon phases and using that?
I'll do research like, I plan to go fishing this day. What's the moon phase going to be? I find like new moons, sometimes it can definitely bring out a better day bite. Full moons, the fish can bite anytime, but you can really get into some really good bites. But I find moon rise, moon set is very key for moon phase stuff, but you can't beat dawn and dusk. Morning and evening, those are key times.
You talk about pressure, even here, like I ice fish a lot, and I noticed this winter, I won't say the lake, Maxwell Lake, but we came out of a cold snap, major Chinook, warmed up, the fish were biting like stink, and the week before or day before you couldn't catch a single one, so there seems to be something to that pressure change.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes, like the up and the down, like they'll have like better bites. I don't know like too much about pressure systems. Like I fish when I can, really, especially this like around now. But like a low pressure system moving in, I find is like a pretty good bite for trout. But I like my moon phases and dusk dawn. And my night fishing, of course.
And seasons, too, are key. Like, when I first came to the Northern Rockies, I was used to fishing other places where it's always the same. You can always catch your pike on a red devil or 5 of diamonds. But coming
red
here...
Red devil, 5 of diamonds.
But coming here, it was a different kettle of fish. Like, there were certain seasons, like the whitefish, and I'll give some secrets away that I found. If you can hit that mayfly hatch, which is actually here, it's in June, and the water's boiling with them, you can't keep those suckers off your line. And also the September spawn. So you hit whitefish at that time, They're in the shallows and they're ready to bite.
Yeah, sometimes those whitefish are either like on or off sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But we got on a wicked hatch this fall. It was like some PMD hatch or something like that. But they're eating these little white flies. We were going for huge brown trout in the States. And yeah, we did a drift for a few kilometers that day. We were going for browns. Like, oh, we're not catching anything. And we come up on this school of whitefish all rising on these little flies. We're like, oh, we're going to have a fun day with these things, I guess.
Yeah, and they were hitting flies for you.
Yeah, dry flies right on top, just big ones, like 20-inch whitefish.
Right, whereas at other times they can be 60 feet down deep or 90 feet down deep. And yeah,
the mountain whitefish and lake whitefish are a little different, but the mountains and the rivers are pretty cool. They're interesting.
And whitefish, if you're listening, some folks think they're like a junk fish, like a carp. They're actually closer related to the trout. They actually have the adipose fin on the back, like from the trout species, and they're really tasty. They've got a bit of oil in their meat.
They're
smoke
really oily,
nice.
which is good for you. Like, it's really
smoked
ideal.
whitefish is just delightful stuff.
Oh yeah. That's you got to do whitefish smoked, or some people do them baked, but it's hard to not do them smoked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you've got some crazy. We'll come back to fishing, but you got a crazy hunting story that we definitely want to hit. You've been a subsistence and trophy hunter for a while. Grew up hunting moose, mule deer, whitetail, farmland. But then you have this crazy story about using your 303 British. You hit a 5x5 buck.
Yeah.
So walk us through this.
Here's a wicked story. It's mostly just subsistence hunting, but big bucks are always nice, especially in November. It's what you're kind of looking for. But yeah, mid-November, peak of the rut. Fresh 18, like looking for a nice deer. We live near the Morinville area, so. Surrounding area is some of the best whitetail hunting in Alberta. A lot of private land, but if you can work around the private land and find some public or where the deer are hiding, it's a wicked area. So, that day, nice. It was sometime, I think it was midday too, because it's a rut. You always be out all day. You never know what happens. And this nice 5x5 walks.
So what was the date? Do you remember the date?
November 14th or 15th.
Okay, yeah.
So, it's picking up.
Because we always say here the height of the rut here is usually Remembrance Day, November 11th. That's typically, but
I find the height of it. I found it up north, wasn't a little bit later.
Yeah.
But around home, it's usually Remembrance Day and on is just fired up.
They're going crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. So, buck comes out of the bush. It's crossing this field, and wasn't a super close shot. It was probably 200 something yards. I have my old 303 British that my dad used for however many years, 30 years. He's killed dozens of deer with it.
That's cool.
So many moose as well. So, he handed that down to me. He upgraded a few times, but so I use that gun to this day. I like it. It does the job. Gets moose down.
Before we move on, I want to talk about this gun. Is it a Lee Enfield? Is it a World War II? Is it been sporterized? The old walnut stock?
I don't think it's a World War II one, but. It's fully wood. It looks pretty ancient. I don't know too much about it, except it has some history.
You got a 3x9 scope on there?
Oh no, I forget what it is, but it's a pretty normal scope, pretty regular, gets the job done. But
Canadian Tire special scope.
I think I need an upgrade on it too. It's not too bad for distance, but when it gets a little dark out, it's hard to see in it.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, so this deer walks across the field that day, and I'm like, oh my goodness, a 5x5. I haven't seen much deer this year. It's fresh 18. I don't really pass on much. I'd be probably shooting a spiker if I saw it.
Yeah.
So, I thought I put a nice shot into it. Yeah, it drops and then kind of picks itself up and goes into the bush. It was 20 feet from the bush. So, kind of lays down, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to give it an hour because you don't really know. You don't want to push him off its bed.
Yeah.
And I let it sit for an hour. I'm like, I definitely hit front side, so I'm gonna go check it out. Mm-hmm. I go up to this deer. I start to see him in the bush. I walk up, and he is just alive, just super lively, just staring at me with a death stare. And I take a look, and both his front, it caught the bottom of his chest cavity, just missed, and it caught both of his front legs. So he was just had his hind legs he could hop around with, but I was like, oh no, I don't want this deer to suffer. So I
Right.
went to put him out of his misery with my 303. It's an old gun. I probably should have oiled it before this hunt and whatnot. But yeah, a bullet got really jammed, like super jammed, like the absolute worst time. I think I've had this gun jam like twice, and that was one of the times. And I was like, oh no. So yeah, I'm just messing with this gun for probably 15 minutes. I'm like trying to pry it out with this knife. And yeah, no luck there. I was like, okay. So I have my buck knife and this giant 5x5 deer in front of me. What am I gonna do here? Like, it was pretty somewhat open woods, pretty tall mixed wood. But yeah, I try to grab this deer's antler and he's straight jumps at me. And I roll dodge this thing. I'm like, okay, that was close. I try to keep on like circling this thing, try to get on it, but he turns with me, just stays locked onto me. And whenever I get like within 6+ feet, he just charges at me.
He's lunging at you
because he has his back leg, so he can just shoots at you out of nowhere.
Of course, he can take an eye out.
Oh yeah, 5x5. Yeah. His neck was can't get much bigger than that, just ready to kill and do whatever. So yeah, we scrambled across the woods. He was charging me. I was dodging him. Like jumped off his back. He'd like kick me off. His horns would come way too close to my face, and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. We were chasing each other around for a few hundred meters. Got a little closer, like the property line, so I was like, okay, I do not need this crossing into this property. There's like a house not too far down, so I was like, I don't want them walking to the yard or something like that. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I had this nice buck knife. It was like a 5-inch blade, I think it was, fixed. And I was like, I guess I'll try to throw it. So like, I've done some throwing knives and axes and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, I'm probably just under 10 feet away from this deer, and I'll go for it. First throw, I do like a full rotation on the knife, and it sticks in like right into the lung between two ribs. Yeah, just perfectly. I couldn't have hit it more perfect. I was like, no way. And this knife shot out 10 feet towards me, like landed pretty well at my feet, all bloody, and the deer was just done.
Wow.
Right after that. And yeah, well, it was like kind of moving a little bit, not really. It was out of it, so I just bled it quick and pulled it to the truck. But that was a wild one. I'm surprised I did not get stabbed. Like I
killed
definitely
a deer by
it.
throwing a buck knife, folks.
Wow,
if anyone's got a story like that, call it in.
It was a wild one.
Crazy, man.
Some people don't believe it. I'm like, it
I do
happened.
believe it.
It happened.
Well, when you first told me that story, you said, I killed a deer with a knife. I'm like, yeah, I've killed lots of deer with knives, but usually I'm jumping on their backs and slitting the throat, which is really quick, right?
It's a unique situation.
But in this case, you weren't able to do that, right?
I don't recommend, but I was like, my gun was jammed. I was probably 40 minutes from home. I was like, I'm not going back for another gun. I'm trying to finish this thing off now. So it was a sticky situation, but came out good in the end, and the meat tasted great.
Yeah, who would have thought knife throwing would come in handy like that?
Didn't even ruin any meat with the knife throw.
Wild.
Yeah, so that was definitely one of my wildest hunting stories for sure.
Yeah. You got a moose this year too?
Yeah, I drew on my moose, so spent some time bow hunting that this season.
Oh, nice.
I had 3 really great encounters calling in moose. It was probably the most fun I've ever had hunting. It really just like sparked a match in me there. And couldn't seal the deal. It's pretty hard when you're kind of hunting in those prairie fields, just straight open, trying to hide on like a little tree line, and the moose will just catch your wind. Or they're pretty smart out there. They're not stupid, but
well, especially with the bow, because you're trying to get them in close.
Yeah, you're trying to get them within like 30, 40 yards. And the good thing is the moose rut is during bow season where I live. Like gun season isn't open until November 1st, so nobody's really hunting at that time. So they're around. But yeah, had a few close encounters, couldn't seal the deal. And then opening rifle day, I managed to get it done with the moose. I missed my last time. I didn't miss him, but he was up close with me and I called him in. But
came back for rifle season.
Well, I was actually coming into the field before I was going to walk in deeper into this field, kind of where there's this big creek valley I knew the moose were sitting in. And it was mid-rut. He saw my truck, and my front of my truck's black, and he thought it was a cow moose or something, and he just came running at me. And I was
biggest honey he had ever seen.
It wasn't a giant rack. Like it was probably like a couple-year-old bull. So he was like of size, but he's not like giant yet. And I was like, Couldn't wait for me to get out and try to call you. I just try to find the cow moose that's my truck.
Using your truck as a moose decoy.
There
you go.
So when you're calling, were you cow calling or bull grunts?
I was just cow calling by mouth. Yeah. That took some time learning, but I called a few in, so I trust some of it. Don't know if it was luck or thumb moves.
A lovesick cow. You're sitting there practicing. Yeah.
That was lots of fun. So meat in the freezer for myself this year. It's a pretty young bull, just on farm.
Perfect.
On farm feed pretty well in our fields. So.
And he wasn't all rutted up, stinky or anything.
No, I don't. Yeah,
That's good.
It was awesome. Like some of the best moose steaks I've had. So
nice.
Pretty happy.
Yeah. Well, I got another would you rather. Back to fishing here.
Yeah.
Would you rather accidentally drop and lose your phone in deep water or your tackle box? You probably have multiple tackle boxes, so I'm going to say your best tackle box with your most expensive gear.
Well,
your phone to the bottom of the lake or the tackle box?
I'd probably rather lose my phone because some of my lure collections, it's a little too much. Like I have like all my crankbait collection and everything like that. Just a lot of custom built lures from a whole bunch of people, and it's just worth too much to lose sometimes. Like I have a bunch of lures that aren't even made anymore. They're made in like different countries, and the makers doesn't even make lures anymore. So it's just like you try to. Those things are very valuable to me, I find. There's some lures I don't even want to row anymore. I've caught some fish on like certain lures. I'm like, okay, well, I'm retiring this one just for show now.
Nostalgia.
So
let me ask you about your tackle then. Like, are you keeping like a mixed box, and then you've got your box of spoons, you got your box of crankbaits, your flies, like, or what does it look like? Because mine is just a hodgepodge. And I'm on my hands and knees, like putting stuff together all the time.
It's usually my truck is like my main tackle box, and then
and your moose decoy.
Yeah, and then whenever I try to like a lot of my fishing, I'm a pretty big river rat, I'd say. So I fish on my feet on the river all the time. I'm getting better, lightening up my pack more and more, but yeah, you can only carry so much on your back. You don't have a whole boat to throw your whole tackle box in. Everything's on my back. I have a net.
Yeah.
It's like all that kind of stuff. So I try to minimize. So I like to have like my majority of my tackle in my truck. And then whenever I need for that day for those species, I'll kind of just build a box. I'll have a couple empty boxes I just build, and I'll reorganize everything back and whatnot. But yeah, there's a lot of organization that goes into my tackle.
Yeah.
Got a room at home for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, George? Phone to the bottom of the lake or tackle box?
Oh man, I don't have any lures that I don't think I can. I think Canadian Tire can replace everything in my tackle box, to be honest.
Yeah, so. That's fair. Yeah, there's probably a pretty rare answer there. What matters what your tackle box is looking like.
Yeah. I gotta upgrade my tackle box then. Yeah.
There's some people with crazy tackle boxes. Some people, a lot of the lures though, they catch fishermen, not fish sometimes though. So
totally. Yeah.
I'm guilty of that myself.
Doing, Scott?
It's a tough one, because if I've got like my best tackle, it might be worth as much as a phone. I don't know. I'm right on the fence with that one.
It's pretty close.
A lot of guys lose their phones down ice fishing holes. I mean, that's super common.
Yeah.
You guys ever lost anything down an ice fishing hole?
Oh yeah, I lost 2 phones in like a week once. It was in the same lake. It was bad. I was like borrowing a phone too, and I lost it. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, I am curious when you're like, on the phone situation, are you filming most of this from a phone, like your videos, or do you have a separate camera set up?
I got a couple GoPros actually, so I got some newer GoPros which actually can film in like 4K and higher. So I try to use those for as much as I can, but usually I'm fishing with a buddy. We just use our phones because these phones nowadays are pretty old, just crazy cameras. So yeah, just put it on. You can, a little tip for fish pictures: put your quality up on your phone. Like in the top corners, there'll be like a 4K mode and stuff like that. Like that makes a difference when it comes to filming pictures and fish like that. Yeah, it'll make a difference.
You got to zoom and crop. You want high quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down the ice fishing hole, never lost a phone, but one time I was packing up. I had my grandson out. And we're packing up after ice fishing, and I'm like, "Where's my avalanche shovel? My nice new Abby shovel." And I'm looking around, can't find it anywhere. And finally, I ask him, And he could hardly talk then, so he waddles over to an ice fishing hole and he points down the hole
That's
to
hilarious.
the bottom of the lake. So I put my face down there, and there's my shovel on the bottom of the lake. So
You fish her out?
I had to come back. I marked it with a spruce twig so I could find it.
Okay.
Because we had to get home, and then I came back a day or two later
Yeah.
with the auger, and I concocted this massive lodgepole pine with a coat hanger on the end, and was able to rescue it from the bottom of the lake. But
That's
that was
pretty
too
good.
funny because he, I guess, just
Yeah.
found a good way to push it down there.
Nowadays, like they have a lot of magnets in the phone, so you can put a little piece where you can put a magnet down and get your phone off the bottom.
I
I always
didn't know
always
that,
bring
really.
a magnet with me, especially with like I think the newer iPhones got that. But
Huh? I didn't know that worked.
I've used a magnet for a few things
Yeah.
up the hole, but I didn't recover any of the phones, so it went down.
Yeah. Have you ever snagged your hand badly with a hook,
Definitely a few times.
or your face, or
I've never went to the hospital. I never got anything into my face too
Mm-hmm.
bad. Like I'm pretty bad for leaving hooks sometimes around, and I just step on them. So I've had a few like dug pretty deep in my heel, but yeah, there's that little braided line trick where you can push like the opposite way of the barb and pop it out, or
Yeah.
sometimes you can push it through. Usually I do one of those, but I've caught some pretty huge trebles in my hand. I'm like, shoot. Almost needed bolt cutters for it. You're kind of thinking, but you just pop it out.
So
Hurts for a little
you've
bit.
had to push it through before, and
I pushed
clip
it through
the
with a
barb?
little bit smaller
Yeah.
hooks, but with big hooks, I've just pulled them back through, which
Yeah.
hurts a little bit, but better than going to the hospital, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the hospital ever, right? George, how about you? Hooks in the hand?
Oh, every time I go fishing, yeah. that's my main thing.
That's your motto.
Nothing real bad though. Yeah, no hospital trips or anything.
Yeah.
No,
You?
well,
Have you ever had to push them through, or you just rip them
No,
out?
rip them out.
Just like a man.
Yes.
you have to be pretty serious to push them through.
Yeah.
It matters the situation for sure.
Oh, I've certainly had lots of hooks in the hands and other places. I had the story in my book there where my Joel, when he was 6 years old, whipped me in the face with a pickerel rig, and the lead weight
yeah.
split my lip and knocked my tooth back.
the
So
weight on the
that was a
bottom
fun
did the
one. But I thought I was going to go blind because I've got two hooks flying at me and this massive lead weight.
Yeah.
But that leads me to my would you rather. This one's trickier than it might sound, so listen carefully. Would you rather snag a treble hook into your cheek or into your girlfriend's ear?
I'm going my own cheek for sure. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I'll just do the damage to myself and
There you
get
go.
get away with it.
Yeah. So George is married, so he's not trying to impress her anymore.
Yeah. She does have like a lot of piercings in her ear already, so it's like
It's
Maybe you can
just a
stay.
freebie.
yeah, exactly. This is a present for you. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I probably would end up having to go myself though too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to do
Especially
the
if
hook in the cheek.
Especially if you're the one getting it in there, you'll never hear the end of that.
Oh,
no.
exactly. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I got a would you rather too. I was going to yeah, so let's say you're going on a creek. Would you rather have waders with a slow leak in the crotch or completely barefoot?
What's the temperature outside?
It's 7 degrees.
Oof.
Mountain water.
Yeah.
You know, my waders already have a leak in the knees and the crotch, so
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go
You're
with the
used to it,
waders.
yeah.
Yeah. You can kind of, you wear your insulated ones. You're wet all day, but you're warm at least. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
pee in there to warm it up.
In the
Yeah.
summer,
There you go.
in the summer, I love wet wading though. It's great when you can do that.
Yeah.
But when it's cold out in this mountain water, it's freezing all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Scott?
I got to do the leaky waders. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you're numb within minutes without them, right?
Yeah.
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 How about you, George?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Barefoot on the creek sometimes is that's a little dicey.
Matters the creek.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you, Provi, about the magic touch. Some people talk about the golden horseshoe up your butt. Some people think I'm a lucky fisherman. I'm not nearly as successful as you, but there is something to it. Like I've gone fishing with enough people, and there's certain people who are doing exactly the same thing you're doing right beside you, and they don't catch all day, and then you might catch a ton, or maybe there's a guy with more of a golden horseshoe and he's just hauling them in one after the other, and then he's like, here, take my lure, I'll take yours, and they don't catch anything with his lure, and he starts catching with the one they had or in their spot. I've seen it more times than I can count. So there's something mysterious. So is that voodoo, superstition? Is it the magic touch? Is it, some people say, well, he's got oils on his fingers at the fish, like I've heard that. Or does he just have the right tactics?
Yeah, there's this. That's the thing about fishing, is there's so many variables that you just it's hard to key on, like what is happening. Like, you might think you're doing the same thing, but your little wiggle that you're doing a little bit's just mimicking that whatever flyer lure just a little bit better. But seeing, like, from people just like seeing my posts, it's like, yeah, it looks like I catch a lot of fish, but I'm also out 100 days a year, and you don't see my slow days out there, but I definitely get them. And experience definitely helps on the water. Some days you're with your buddy that you think you know more than him, and he's outslaying you, though. It's just how it goes, how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, you never know. Like, sometimes there's like little things that can make a difference. Is like, oh, your line's a little bit thicker and more visible. Or I've actually had this one time we were targeting grass carp down south, and what happened that day is, like, sometimes with the spinning reel, when your braid kind of comes under your spool and it kind of gets caught up in there. So, like, I took it out and there's a little bit of grease on my line. We were all sitting right beside each other, but I couldn't catch a thing all day because I think I had a little bit of grease on my line, and the carp they're really good at smelling stuff, and they didn't touch my bait at all. My buddies caught a few each that day, and I was losing my mind. We were all throwing these slip bobbers with the same thing. There's like, it shouldn't be too different, but you never know. It might have just fish didn't come in my way. But the next day we came back, I kind of cleaned up my line, made sure it was perfect, and I caught the most fish that day. So
there you go.
There's like little things like that where you can take into account that maybe it did, maybe it didn't help, but if you're questioning, maybe it'll help, maybe it didn't, usually it does, actually.
Yeah, I do think thickness of line does make a difference.
Little differences matter. Like, even like with like fly tires and stuff, they're just like, oh, too many wraps, too many little things. Like, even just like little stuff like that can be just so specific. Or you can just be in your head at the same time. You never really know. Yeah.
How about you, George? What do you think about this golden horseshoe, the magic touch?
Just like when I go fish with my dad, he just catches fish all day and I catch nothing. Like, it's
the old guys
the same stuff.
The old guys love to outslay you. It does happen.
Yeah, he's like upset. He's like, I only caught 17 fish today. I'm like, well, I caught 0. So
yeah, it can be those little things though. Like, I was out fishing whitefish years ago, ice fishing, and I was just hauling them in, and this friend of mine, she was there, and she was like, why am I not catching? Because we were both using brass wire worms, and I said, let me look at your line, and it turns out she had a swivel on the wire worm. I said, this is why you've been out here for days catching no whitefish. They're not going to hit this with the swivel. She's like, they're that picky? I said, oh, absolutely. You got to tie directly to the hook.
It's funny. People think fish are dumb, and they'll outsmart you, and that's why you don't really see the big fish. All those little details matter.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of these big fish in Alberta.
Yeah. What's that?
Like walleye pike, they're 20 years old plus.
So back to line, we got braided line. I find I catch more on mono than braided. And then there's that clear line. I can't remember the name of it. It's got a more fluorocarbon. I use that for leaders a lot now, because it's, especially for pike and that, it's almost see-through. What are you using for your favorite line?
For me, like, I'm pretty well ice fishing, like summer fishing. I'm strictly using braid as my as my regular line, and I usually use a fluorocarbon leader.
Okay.
So I'm doing a connection knot, which is either an Alberta knot or an FG knot. Some people like to do like little barrel swivels or something to connect the two lines. But I'm pretty confident with my connection knots, and I do that so it can slide through my guides and I can cast nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I find the clear line is super helpful. Yeah. Like, the mono's a little bit less clear than fluorocarbon, but they're not that much difference. But
So are you using fluorocarbon because it's more abrasion resistant as well? And are you going
it's
like
mostly
thinner?
just for clear, like
It's the clarity.
it's a
that
clarity,
you
like
there you go.
fish can see the braid. That's how it
Oh,
goes.
they do. Yeah, you'll
It's-
catch way more on clear line than braided
People are like,
line.
oh, I've caught lots on straight braid. Well, I caught that many more without straight braid.
Totally.
Like, I get it. It's a pain in the butt sometimes. That's why some people use mono and some people use straight braid. Connection knots are a pain in the butt, especially if you snag up. You just do a nice connection knot. It just took you so long to do it, and then you go and snag your lure first catch. Like, screw it. I'm just using straight braid.
Yeah.
It happens. You even get to that point yourself, but yeah, I try to. Sometimes you can use full fluorocarbon, full mono, and that works, but.
Full fluorocarbon? That'd be expensive.
It is expensive, but it is. The thing about mono and fluoro, there's a difference there because fluorocarbon sinks. Mono floats. So a lot of people for sinking lures when they want to work them, they want their whole line to sink in the water.
Yeah.
So some people use just fluorocarbon. So when they're working their lure, instead of your whole braided line sitting on top of the water, your whole cast is sitting under the water. So it'll be it'll be working different. It's, a little bit different between the two, but I usually use just straight braid to fluorocarbon leader, sometimes 3 feet, sometimes 20 feet leader. Matters what I'm doing.
Holy.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Some fish are really good eyesight, especially in clear lakes and stuff.
Oh, for sure. The trout especially are super picky.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, I had lots of questions about this. I don't want to forget. Are you changing, do you have a reel of 20 pound, 6 pound, 8 pound, and you just pop a reel on your favorite rod? What's a typical, or you've got 100 rods, you just grab your 8 pound rod?
At the moment, if you look into my truck, I have probably 8 rods sitting in my passenger seat right beside me. Got a fly rod, a smaller fly rod. Usually, I'm using different actions for different sizes of stuff. So I'll have my bull trout pike rod that's 20, 30 pound test. I'll have my walleye trout rod that's 10 pound line or lighter. And you can have your base braid of whatever. And lots of times I just switch my fluorocarbon leaders. So if usually on my bait caster, it's always 30 pound, but I'll put a 12 pound leader on sometimes a 20 pound leader. You can kind of vary in that way, but for different fish and different methods, I use different rods.
If you're going for rainbows or brookies, are you going down to 6 pound for that light?
Oh, it matters.
Or 8 or
sometimes a big trout can wrestle you down on 6, especially if they get into something. So I like to use 8, but some finesse fish you can definitely get into 6 pound line or even lighter. But I like to go. I find if you're using 8 pound fluorocarbon and stuff like that, that's already so clear.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
Should be good. Are you changing out your line every year because it gets brittle, or are you a 2-year guy? Or
usually I test it. Usually for my ice fishing rods, I'll run them 2 years for sure. But in the summer, I'll fish so much where I'll put another spool on.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I'll literally wear down one side of the braid, and then I'll flip the braid. So I'll put the very used braid at the bottom, and that'll double your lifespan of your braid.
Okay.
I find if you want to keep your line good longer, just keep it out of the sun too. I've had line on my rods for 3 years, but I don't recommend it sometimes. But
yeah,
if your rods are sitting in the garage for a long time, I don't see changing them every year is key. But usually I just end up snagging lures, losing line on my rods. I like to have all my rods full to the max, just so I can get my furthest cast all of the time too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm from the generation where I think my uncle had some rods in the corner that were 15 years, never changed the line.
Yeah.
And then
I fish with those rods too.
You get a big lunker and it snaps because it's so brittle, right? Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes part of the fun, except for losing the monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you got some fishing influencers? Is there people that you're following regularly? On social media or just in life, in real life even?
Oh,
George Shantz.
Yeah. You following I caught a tiger trout.
He did
this
catch
winter.
a good one, yeah.
I have to see it after.
Yeah. It's no 25-incher, but
I follow Mr. Scott Sunderwald, of course. And then the podcast and whatnot. I have a lot of buddies that are kind of into it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of influencers out there. None that super stand out. I look like up to, but like I have a lot of friends in the industry and stuff, like a lot of people that I talk to quite a bit that are just, it's like more of a community than like an influencer type of like connection there. I find like you can just have conversations with just random people about fishing online and stuff like that, just because your hobby's kind of connected into there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one like really specific. Me and my buddies, we just like to fish a lot. It's really cool. Shout out to Jeremy Wade, I guess.
Jeremy Wade. What's on the fishing bucket list for you then? You got some trips planned for the year? Or?
Yeah, planning to get a riverboat actually. So
another one.
Well, my Zodiac is
stay up all night with your shotgun and guard it. So
no one's touching that. I already got like a new Zodiac, so that's the one I have right now, and I have a prop on it, and I've ran some pretty sketchy rivers and stuff. Usually don't run prop on a river, but I'm one of the few that does. Like even on the NSR, I've ran like 50, 60 kilometers of river with my little 25 horse and my Zodiac. I don't really see anyone else out there, but sometimes when the water gets low, it gets a little sketchy, and I want to get up into some pretty sweet places and do longer trips. So I think upgrading the boat will be a sweet plan. And then I want to do some bigger trips. Like I love Canada and the U.S. fishing, but I want to get South America, Central America, to kind of get down there.
Nice.
But
yeah.
I'd really like to get down for some sturgeon again. Like the last time I caught sturgeon was in 23 when I caught the 10-footer and lost my boat there. And it was a pretty sweet trip. And we're like, we were pretty fulfilled for a little bit, but itching to get back out. It's hard to beat a fish that's 10 feet long.
Be addicting.
Are you heading up north too, like Alaska? Is that like?
It's on the bucket list for sure. You know, working wildfire, I'm 18 on, 3 off, or even a little bit more days, like 15 on, 6 off. So I don't really get my chances to go that far north in the summer. So I think after my fire career, I'm definitely going to make my way up there a lot more. But it's definitely on the bucket list up there, the north. I love it. None of it. Yukon, Northwest Territories, Alaska even. Yeah. It's all amazing. I'd spend months up there if I could. But
I think that's our plan, like maybe not this summer. I think we're shooting next summer, but I want to take like my dad and my buddies wants to take his dad, like do a little fly-in trip northern Alberta to one of those big fly-in lakes. And
there's some sweet places in like Alberta, even Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's got so many of those, but there's some good ones in Alberta too.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
Big walleye, big pike, big lake trout.
Oh
yeah. Yeah.
Those are always fun.
I got a crazy would you rather.
Okay.
So we're going to this one's not deep, it's not profound, it's silly, but would you rather smell like fish all the time or only be able to eat fish for every meal for the rest of your life?
Wow. Smell like fish or eat fish?
You know, I like fish, but I don't love fish, especially freshwater, hit and miss.
Yeah.
I'm not a big like trout guy, especially out of lakes. Some brookies and stuff like that are pretty good, but I don't know. Eating fish for every meal is pretty hard. I'm a big red meat guy.
Yeah,
but tough, smelling like fish is pretty rough too. That's a tough one.
You're not getting a date.
No, but what happens when you're like, I'm only eating fish. Sorry, lady.
Yeah. I feel like if you eat fish for every meal, you're going to smell like fish anyways.
It's a curse either way.
Yeah.
I might have to settle and smell like fish and just hope my wife likes it, because I love red meat and stuff, wild meat like that so much. I don't know.
My wife likes it.
Yeah.
How about you, George?
I think I gotta go smell like fish too, man. Like eating fish, like waking up in the morning, like, what are you having for breakfast? Fish. Lunch.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Fish.
Yeah.
Like maybe like seafood in general, it'd be like maybe if it was on the coast, but even still, it's a tough diet.
Yeah, to never do a nice steak again, or ribs or chicken wings, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I got to stink like fish. I'll douse myself in cologne.
Yeah.
And smell like cologne and fish wherever I go.
There you go. If you put steak instead of fish, I'd pick that one. But
speaking of eating fish, how do you like to prepare your fish? You got some favorite recipes?
So, matters what I'm doing. I usually eat fish when I'm ice fishing in the winter. A lot of the time, I find a lot of lakes I go to have better limits in the winters and stuff like that. So I like to eat my burbot, my walleye, my pike.
Oh yeah, the burbot.
So the burbot are actually really good. Pike and walleye, pan fry, deep fry. I'm a big pan fry guy for those.
Too, yeah.
Eat them every once in a while. My grandma loves fish more than me, so I feel bad not giving it to her instead. So lots of my walleye go to her, but a lot of the burbot, I like burbot a lot because you can do a little bit more with it being a firmer fish.
Poor man's lobster.
Mm-hmm. So you can do that. What I like to do, my favorite is burbot chowder.
Okay.
It's like a good chowder going, get lots of bacon, carrots, potatoes.
Oh, that sounds great.
Big burbot chunks. If you get a lot, like
they're firm.
They hold together really well, and that's top tier for sure.
That sounds outstanding. I wanted to talk to you about burbot before we close here, because you've got some monster burbot pictures.
Yeah, I looked at one this morning. I think it was 41 inches.
Yeah,
that is insane.
In the recorded Alberta records, that's the third biggest.
Wow.
That was caught and actually recorded. There's always stories out there, but
yeah,
that one is absolutely monstrous.
So are you hitting them March Madness ice fishing when they're in their spawn, or how are you hitting
Spawn
these?
can be tough in some places sometimes. I don't know, sometimes I try to avoid the spawn if I can. Fishing a spawn kind of feels greasy sometimes. The burbot spawn's a little bit different. It's not as frowned upon, but catching them not in a burbot ball, a lot of the times up in the lakes I'm fishing, they don't spawn till April, so I'm not even fishing the spawn. It's actually pretty wild. A lot of the lakes down here, not in south of here, they're all February spawning, but up north it's not until April. It's pretty wild. So
okay,
it can be So they're kind of feeding deep ledges along with lake trout and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
You're bottom bouncing with bait?
Oh yeah, you're always in the bottom, but sometimes they'll surprise you and come up. I find on my big burbot lakes, they're usually pretty close to bottom, but there's some lakes I'm fishing for walleye, on Slave Lake and stuff, and one time I was just fishing and just jigging outside, and I have a Markham flasher, and those things, if you know what a Markham flasher is, they're pretty loud compared to others for nowadays.
Tell me about that. I know flashers, but I'm not familiar with this one.
It's a Markham flasher, so it's a little circle thing.
Okay.
It's pretty basic. Surprised they're still making those. They're pretty sweet, actually. For some people like them. But either way, it's a little sonar that kind of goes down and it pings the bottom and reflects a ping back up, and it can kind of check the depth and see if there's any fish under you. But my Markham was just sitting on top of the ice, and I wasn't really looking at it, and I just see my Markham just get dragged into the hole. My hole is not too big, so my Markham kind of gets jammed in there. I was like, what the heck just happened? Something just attacked my Markham and just pulled into the water. So I pull it out and I reel up my rod to the top of the hole. And boom, freaking huge 10-pound burbot, right under the ice.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had times where I'm sight fishing too for pike in shallow water, and I thought it was a muskrat, but it was a burbot that came up the hole. And it was coming up towards my face.
That's odd.
I don't even know what they're doing, but they're an interesting fish.
Are you catching them a lot at night? I know lots of guys will have luck at night.
I find water body to water body, it changes. I find on bigger water bodies it can vary. They'll bite during the day quite a bit, but a lot of places nighttime is the time. I'd say on average, you'll catch them around the clock though. I find before it gets light. Right before the sun comes up, when the sun's coming up, dawn, right after it gets dark, kind of stuff. All the shoulder periods, kind of dawn, dusk.
You know what we got to do, Provy? You got to join. We'll do 3 of us. Ice shack, rum and cigars, hitting burbot in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
What's the moon phase though? New moon?
We'll get Provy to figure it out.
I don't know what the burbot really. I think new moon would be pretty good, but full moon.
New moon,
you can't
burbot
beat it.
Fishing.
Yeah, I have some buddies that run some shacks up on Slave Lake, Jensen's Ice Shack Rentals, and they were one of my really good friends. And I've been going up there they started the company a few years ago, but I've been going up there since I was pretty young. And the burbot bite out there is just ridiculous. We caught 100 in 2 days once, and you can keep 10. So you're bringing home 10 burbot, and the population there's pretty healthy. There's not many people fishing in the area of the lake. Sometimes taking 10 burbot doesn't feel right on many lakes, but that lake, it's a little different situation. It's a very large body of water.
Do you nail them to the wall and peel them like a sock, or what? How are you cleaning them?
I usually just struggle.
Struggle through it.
They freeze and then they just turn disgusting usually.
Yeah.
I just shake my head when I'm filleting them, but when I'm eating them, it's usually worth it.
They're good.
I've heard that's the way. Little tip is definitely fillet them before they freeze, because when they thaw and all that, their slime on the outside is like the most disgusting thing ever. It turns like black and it just gets on everything. And they're a little slimy and stinky, but
yeah,
I like my burbot. They're pretty cool. Yeah.
So we learned North Saskatchewan River.
Yeah.
Slave Lake was mentioned as well.
Maxwell Lake was mentioned.
Maxwell Lake. Man, it's.
Big
I got
rivers,
lots of notes.
Big rivers, big fish. Like
big rivers, big fish.
Yeah.
I fish.
Foam is home. Midday monster.
What was the foam one?
Foam is home.
Foam is home.
Yeah.
I fish a lot of spots though, like all over Alberta, all over Saskatchewan, BC, in the States. And yeah, just it varies. I'm all over the place trying different things all the time, which is it's always fun.
Yeah.
Striking out a lot, but
Yeah. Well, folks, if you're listening, you got to check out Provi Outdoors on Instagram.
Man, the fish on there.
Get
just
a look.
Incredible.
We think most of it's AI.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
when nowadays you're getting those people.
I see too on like some of the pictures you have like the background kind of like blurred out. That just to hide the lake.
You know, for sure. You got form. Like compared to like other states and provinces, how much water they have compared to us and our population, it's crazy how many fishermen we have to water bodies. Like,
Really?
you know, I could like you look at a picture from like at a certain fish, and if you can see the background, like there's a pretty good chance like pretty like experienced fishermen can have an idea where that is.
Well, I'm always looking at backgrounds.
I posted a picture of me fishing there the other day, and Scott mentioned the lake.
Even if you post a fish like at a certain time of year, it's like, oh, he's probably hitting that area right now.
I noticed the cattails or the reed bed, or of course if there's mountains, you know right away where it is.
Oh, the mountain ridges. You're like, that one, okay. What the heck? Yeah, you know, there's people out there that are always looking. You know, everyone's looking. You got to be careful.
Everyone's looking.
If you don't. If you really don't want it out there, don't post it, but that's just how it goes. Some stuff you don't have to share.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Oh, this has been great. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, this is awesome. We could always talk more, but this is a great evening.
Hopefully not too crazy of a wildfire summer for you this summer.
It's looking pretty slow right now. We're getting the precip the province has needed for a few years, so it's looking a little better this year.
Good start to spring.
Take that fly rod in your helicopter just in case.
You never know. I'll try to get it in there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Usually we're pretty busy working, so.
Yeah. You're like, Provi, are you firing up that generator? No, I'm fishing.
Working in this area, though, doing a lot of patrols and stuff, you just like, oh, I'm coming back there.
Oh, yeah.
One of my biggest bull trout around here, I was flying around doing a patrol that day, and I'm like, I'm going back there.
Yeah.
It looks so juicy, and then next day I caught like a 15-pound bull trout out of there. It was crazy.
Jeez.
But yeah.
Provi Outdoors on Instagram. TikTok, you said you're not super active on, but still got some videos up on there.
I got some good videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe in the future, filming lots of videos, you never know. Could come out with some YouTube stuff, but we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
Having fun, fishing it up. So.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
That's great. Keep pushing the limits. Keep giving us something to strive for.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll have to get out with you guys
inspiring.
Here. I pretty well live out here in the summer, so I'll be around.
Let's try Maxwell Lake, hey?
Yeah, you know,
that's the spot, man.
Some monsters in there.
Get some monsters out of there.
Heard there's sturgeon in there.
Yeah. Scott, Radically Wild.
Flying
off the shelves in the Catamount store now too.
It's in the Catamount store.
Yeah, I picked it up at the old grind.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, 2 days ago. So
fantastic!
I'm excited to read that.
Yeah, the Audible book's coming out this summer, so the recording's done. Just getting it polished up, and
nice.
For those who don't like to read, you've got no excuse. Just put it on in the truck. So
yeah, you're missing out if so.
Yeah. Thanks everyone that's been sending in emails, reviews. We're blowing up. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amount of guests that want to come on right now it's cool. It's like we got some really exciting episodes this summer.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm excited. I was super happy you guys invited me on.
It's great. I love this.
It's great. We love fishing, and you've got the edge, man. So
I need 8 rods in my truck. I know that's the thing I'm missing.
You know, I think I go a little overboard. You know, you don't need it all. People get it done with their one combo, and yeah, it does get it done. I like to specialize in some things I do sometimes, but it's just how it goes.
Yeah, everybody needs an obsession. It's a good obsession.
It's an addiction. I'm deep into it.
Perfect. Okay, if you want to get a hold of us, wildernesswavelength.ca, best spot. Until next week, stay wild.
Wilderness Wavelength.